Hey, I want to talk to you about collaborative leadership. You know, throughout Scripture, there is so much that informs and speaks into the topic of leadership, and it's an incredibly important topic. It is said that everything rises and falls on leadership, and I think that's very true. Very much in the New Testament, we have the example of both Jesus and Paul, who did their leadership in the context of team. And it looks like they did that primarily for the purpose of discipleship. And so we're going to look at this topic of collaborative leadership, and we will look at it from many angles at a very practical level, including how you run meetings to be collaborative, how you manage conflict and other practical matters. But in all of that, the most important context is that we are making disciples. The primary role of a leader in the church world is that we make other leaders, that we create disciples that themselves can lead. In fact, Paul said to Titus, he said, in Crete, go and fill in the gaps. That is, go and appoint elders in every city. You know, that's our responsibility as leaders, is to spot gaps and fill them with leaders. Collaborative leadership has the greatest possible success in being able to do that well. That is to say, to raise leaders in a constructive environment where they're empowered and given authority. And so that is why I am a big believer in leadership being collaborative. A leader who is collaborative is not simply a leader with a team. A leader who is collaborative has a team with whom they make decisions. Decision-making power is given to that team. As a leader, we should only be making a very small percentage of the decisions on a day-to-day basis. Most of our decisions are either made in the context of a team or that they are empowered as individuals to make the decisions on our behalf. And so we're left making very few decisions. But that is a very important principle in delegation, in raising up other leaders. I like to see it like this. If you picture a car is made up of many parts, and yes, the steering wheel is definitely the thing that gives it direction, and that would be the role of the prime leader, the visionary leader, is to give direction, to point that thing in the right direction and to make adjustments to make sure we're staying on the right path, but without the wheels, without a seat to sit in, without the engine, that thing is useless. And it's the same with us as teams of leaders. We need to create teams that feel like they are part of the whole. Without them, we're not going to reach a destination. We need leaders who know that their contribution is essential and critical to the success of the overall picture, that are informing the decisions we make in terms of the direction we go in. And so in this introductory session, I want to give you just a couple of highlights as to what collaborative leadership is and why we believe in it. And then in future sessions, we'll look at how you go about doing collaborative or being a collaborative leader. So first of all, key aspects to collaborative leadership. The first thing is, it is about, as I've said, team decision making. That is, teams that make decisions together. The second thing is, it's about delegation. A leader who delegates not just responsibility, but authority. If you give someone a responsibility, but no authority, they will be frustrated and they will be a demoralized team member. We need to give away authority and make clear the boundaries of someone's authority so that they are empowered to do their responsibility and take pleasure and satisfaction in what they're doing. Thirdly, a collaborative leadership pulls together the strengths, the diversity, the creativity, the varying personalities of the people around us. Collaborative leadership, the involving, inclusive nature of leadership, means we can build teams that are strong because they are teams that are diverse. It's very important that we don't just choose people on a team based on them being like us. You don't want a team full of people like you. You want a team full of the diverse, creative personalities that there are. You want people who aren't just like you, i.e. people who are going to just say yes to anything you put in their way. We need people who can shape ideas. We need people who can say, no, we don't think that's a wise idea right now. We don't think that's a wise course of action. Or people who are going to say, yes, I totally with that direction, but I think maybe we need to slow down the process or speed up the process. We need teams that shape, that are diverse. And finally, a collaborative leadership enables shared ownership. That we have people who carry with us and own with us as if it is theirs because it is theirs. We've helped them know that this cause that we carry together is as much theirs as it is ours as visionary leaders. Therefore, we become a visionary team. And this can happen at every level of leadership throughout our church organizations. The reason why we prefer collaborative leadership are these. Firstly, it enables leaders, the prime leader of a team, to be releasing. That is, we're less task responsive. The tasks come our way, we respond to it. We are more releasing. And as I said earlier, we're more releasing of authority, not just tasks, but defining responsibility, giving away authority, so that person can define the tasks for themselves and go ahead and do that. And so that is one of the reasons why collaborative leadership is the form of leadership we're into. The second reason is it allows for better decisions. This is really critical. The reason collaborative leadership, and one of the prime reasons it's really important and preferred, is you will make better decisions, stronger decisions, and safer decisions. If I were to make decisions on my own, I'm coming at it unilaterally. I'm coming at it from one angle only. I'm not going to see every argument. I'm not going to see every pitfall. I'm not even going to see all the strengths of that one thought process. I'm not going to have all the wisdom. Therefore, my decision making is bereft of the dimensions and the color it needs by a team inputting to that. Some people are just simply better at making decisions about certain topic areas or certain departments in church life. We should release them to make those decisions. Decision making is always better in collaborative leadership style. I will in later videos talk about the moments where a prime leader or the leader of a team has to make decisions solo. It's not that we're afraid to make decisions. It's not that we don't make decisions at certain moments, even on our own, or in a moment where there's indecision, we will go through that. The other reason why we prefer collaborative leadership is because it requires us to disciple people. It forces us into a discipleship mode, because if you've got a team that isn't just going about doing tasks, but a team that is having to sit around a table and work through things together and make decisions together, inevitably that requires shaping. Inevitably, there are moments where it gets a little awkward or a little difficult. Certain personality traits come out that rub somebody else up the wrong way, and you then have an opportunity to speak into that. It's a great discipleship process, a great shaper of people, and a great way to bring out the best in people and reinforce that in people, but also the best opportunity in the context of life, in the context of working life, decision-making life. It's the best way to shape the weaknesses of people too. It's a great discipleship opportunity, and I have found that people welcome that. I have found that people love to talk about how to be better. They love to know where they stand in terms of their performance. They love to be shaped, most people at least. It's a great opportunity. And finally, the reason why we prefer collaborative leadership is it grows leaders. There's nothing like empowering people, nothing like people feeling like they've got a voice, nothing like people feeling like they own it, that they are allowed to help form and shape decisions, for them to grow in their confidence as a leader themselves. You are modeling to them what we want them to do to others. Okay, that's the end of this part one, this introduction. I hope you're convinced collaborative leadership is the way to go. In the next session, we'll talk about what that requires of us as leaders.